Hello and welcome back to Healthy and Wealthy. I'm Sarah, coach by SB _ on Instagram, and I am going to talk to you today about investing. So this podcast is always about finance, fitness, nutrition, getting healthy and wealthy. And today for episode 2, we're going to talk about investing and what that means. So there's two forms of investing for me. There's investing in yourself, which is priority number 1. So without health, it's pointless having wealth. If you're going to invest something and expect returns in the next 10 years and you haven't looked after your health, there is no point having money sitting in a bank account. So priority number 1 is always your health. So invest whatever you can in being as healthy as possible for as long as possible. So it isn't just about extending your life, it's about extending your health span. The best 2 ways to do that are maintain a weight in a healthy range, whatever that means for you. I know people bag on BMI, but at population level, it's fairly useful, unless you're like maybe a rugby player and you've got excessive amounts of muscle, where you might tip higher on the BMI scale. For the average population, it's a fair-ish measure, and it's quite a wide range, so I would suggest making sure that you sit within that average range is always good. Whatever weight you're at now, if you're overweight, if you lose 10% of your weight, you're going to be much healthier. So, number 1. Number 2, don't just focus on weight loss, focus on fat loss whilst preserving or building muscle. So, I'm just going to touch on GLP-1 drugs, because why not? But a lot of people are taking these at the minute, and they're seeing or experiencing rapid weight loss. Now, what happens is, you take these drugs, and some of that weight loss will come from muscle, which is not good. So what we want to do is resistance train and build muscle at the same time as doing that. Anyway, those 2 things alone are the best investments you can do for your health and longevity of life and health span, not lifespan. So living longer and living fitter. Maybe a lot of you are investing in pensions, but almost what's the point if you're going to be knackered in a chair and you can't move around, and people are maybe consciously saving for retirement, but you want to be able to run around and do stuff when you're retired. You want to be able to travel, you want to be able to do all the things that maybe you're dreaming about doing while you sat at your desk. So health is always number 1 priority. And investments in the health I've made over the years, so I've had various personal trainers, various online coaches, I have done body recomposition, I've invested in education around this. So from a money perspective, it's probably my number 1 or 2 most spent on item, and I never ever feel bad for spending money on my health. Number 2 is having money to be able to do things. So investing your money instead of spunking it up the wall, really, quite simply. And it's not just about, so first step, always assess where you are, so do your budget and everything like that. And then you need to think of places to put your money so that it grows for you. Passive income, it's a real thing. It's not a scam. It's not bullshit. It is slow and boring. The 2 things I've just talked about are really not the most exciting things to get excited about as a concept. It's not like I'm saying put your money into crypto and next week you'll be a millionaire. It does happen to some people, but not that many. I'm not saying that you go on GLP-1 drugs and suddenly you become a swimsuit model. Like, a lot of this stuff is quite boring, but it actually leads to an exciting life. So investing in yourself. So education is so important for investing. Knowing the basics. You don't have to be, I think this is a mistake I made when I first started investing. So I thought I had to be Warren Buffett and understand all these different financial charts and everything like that. And granted, I do understand a lot of them because I did accounting and financial management for a degree, work, whatever. So I've been doing it for like 15 years. But even so, I didn't have to be Warren Buffett. I had 100 quid spare that I wanted to invest. So start with an amount of money that if you set it on fire in front of you, it will make a difference to your life, and then it just takes that fear away. The biggest barrier to a lot of this is fear of change or fear of start or fear of failure. So fear holds people back in lots of different arenas, but investing in yourself, educating yourself, so investing time, energy and money towards improving your health and improving your finances will set you up for a brilliant, amazing life. And you'll have less stress. We can work on stress by, focusing on ways to make you feel better. But really, you will be less stressed if you lead a healthy life and you have money behind you. That is a fact. I haven't looked at the statistics on it, though, I'll be honest. I should do, probably. I will do. I'll do a post on it. But yeah, investing. So when we talk about investing, it covers a multitude of things. And you invest your time, money, and energy into those two things, you'll have a lovely life. I'd actually argue education as a singular point is learning's always good for your brain, but that's, again, part of your health. Your health is not just, being shredded. Also, there's correlation between muscle building and what it does for your mental health. So the big things we see in the news are always cancer, Alzheimer's, things like that. If you focus on literally those two things, being in a decent weight, and I'd argue it's very hard to be in a healthy weight range without having good nutritional habits and some form of exercise in your life. Ideally resistance training predominantly, but actually cardiovascular health is very important as well. So, not just lifting weights faster, which is pretty much the extent of my cardio in my 20s probably. But yeah, doing a bit of cardiovascular health and actually just finding enjoyment through it. Most of the time, if you invest in trying new things and seeing what works for you, you'll do it for longer. So find something you enjoy. I personally enjoy CrossFit. I enjoy a challenge. So I'm doing a marathon in December. Things like that. So, and I invest, I spend money on events that force me to create habits and behaviours that will drive up my cardiovascular health. So is it a cost or is it an investment? Who knows? But yeah, invest in the things where you spend money and you get something back from it. They're not expenses. So invest in your health and your wealth. And that's what I want you to take away from this. So if you're like, oh, that gym membership feels expensive, but actually you would go to the gym if you had a gym membership, it's an investment. You're going to get years of your life back, and not just shit years where you sat in a chair because you haven't done any muscle training and you can't live your life fully. You're going to get good, healthy years back, and you're going to have money to do stuff. It's as simple as that. Actually investing, you don't have to invest for, it depends what your goals are. So you set your goals, I would say minimum maybe 5 years on investing in shares, but it will get you money back, and it compounds so much. Like, the fitter you get, the more you can do. Yeah, that's like a compounded return. So you can get more out of life the fitter you are. You can squeeze more out of it. You've got more energy, typically. You can run around and do more. You can, people say they haven't got time to exercise, but it gives you time back. For me, personally, a lot of it is more mental than it is physical energy. So I run quite anxious, I would say. So having a physical outlet for that energy is really, really helpful for me. So instead of sitting ruminating on things, I'm actually taking some action towards things. So action kills anxiety. Similarly with investing, in terms of compounding returns. So when I first started investing, I was maybe investing £100 a month. Maybe. I was in my 20s, I was living in London, rent's super expensive down here. I wasn't on a lot of money for a long time, and had high expenses, high outgoings, and I invested £100 a month. And you look and you think, what is the point in this? I should just take it out and do something with it. But if you leave it, eventually you hit 100k, or whatever milestone is big to you. And then to the next milestone, to your next 100K, it takes half the time of the first one. So just actually investing, even small health habits and small investing behaviors compound. And that's the one takeaway I want you to take away from today. What is the smallest investment you can make in your health and your wealth for your future today or now that you can implement? And then I want you to go away and do it, even if it's learning about something, even if it's searching. And I've got some posts on Instagram about this, like which stocks and shares ISA should I open, which index fund do I want to put my money in, join a gym, put your shoes on, go out for a walk, go out for a run, whatever it is, but just do one thing, and then that will make you feel good, likely, and then you'll do more of it. And that is as simple as investing is. And I'll leave you that takeaway for today, and tune in next time when we talk about something different.